Hi guys, so this is video 2. This video I'm going to get into starting things off. So in this video we're going to talk about niche selection and choosing a domain name. So that is your website name. So what niche do you go into? It's a question everybody asks. Most people haven't got a clue, and that is absolutely fine. And we can work with that. People will tell you go into a niche that you are passionate about, and to a degree, yes. If you have one burning thing that you absolutely love to talk about and do all the time, then by all means go into that niche, because you can be the expert within that niche. However, if you just cannot physically think of anything to do, then you're going to have to go into something that you've got that you feel you can probably write a bit about. If, let's say for example, you're male and you just have no interest in knitting or hairstyles, then clearly that's something you're never going to want to get into, because you're going to try and write a piece of content and you're just going to be going crazy all the time, because you'll write 300 words and you won't know what to do next. And by the time you've managed to do one article, you'll be pulling your own hair out, and you just say, oh, bugger this, I ain't doing this anymore. So what do? Right, so there's a few things you can do. You can just literally look for products, niches and ideas where there's room for you to get in. In other words, the competition isn't too bad. Or you can just forget about all of those things, and you can get into basically, let me just show you this on the screen. Before I get to that, I just want to show you my own Amazon account. So as you can see here, this niche website, gosh, I think it was October 16, something like that. Yeah, obviously we'd only just begun then. So we're probably doing £10 a month then, something like that. And then 4 months later, we earned £62, which is like $100. The month after that, which is April, so we've got November, December, January, February, March, April. So that is 6 months, which is what I've always said to you. A lot of people start to see traffic at the 6 month mark. Some do it even faster. In the one-time offer, I'll show you a couple of ways you may be able to get things a bit faster, but it's all about choosing very, very low competition keywords to get you going. So in April it went up to £117, so it nearly doubled then in 1 month. And then by May, £197, and then by June it went up to £485. So, as I was telling you, once it starts to come in, it then comes in. As long as you've done it right and you keep coming in with content, it goes on an exponential curve. My issue is I didn't do that. I got lazy with content creation, and I went and did my offline business and neglected this. However, now, in the last couple of months, I've been building things up again, and traffic is now starting to go back again. But that's another story for another day. So, in June, we got the payout for what we earned in May. Oh yeah, it's a month, or it's 2 months in arrears with Amazon. So if we look here, we started around October 16. So I was getting little payments from the fallout from all the previous website I'd built and not done anything with for a few years. There's sort of £10-20 a month coming in there, £45, £60. So we started in October, and those first few months we did all the graft, put the work in, and then here we go. Yeah, that's right. So in March, we got our first half decent payout of £62 for January. So the amount we earned in January got paid to us at the end of March. Now the amount we earned in February got paid out at the end of April. So really it was only about 3 months before it started to kick in, and it was only small amounts, you know, $50, $60, something like that. So we got paid, like I say, in April we got paid 117, in May we got paid 197, in June we got paid £485, and that was from what we made in April. And then in July it went up to £1,066. Now that still puts a smile on my face, and I'm sure it's going to put a smile on your face. I promise you, if you do this and you see these numbers for yourself, you have the biggest grin on your face, and you feel so good, you feel so happy, and it really does help in life. You've got to just do this and make it work. You've just got to follow the steps, write the content, and it will come. So we got up to £1,000, which is $1,200, $1,300, something like that. Now, this was for May, and we're in June at this point. By now, I'm out there doing my offline business, starting to neglect the site. Ugh, stupid me. I could have probably doubled or tripled what I was earning then, for now. Lesson learnt. So the next month it went down to 721, then 813, then another £1,000, then another 700, another 700, another 900. I apologise. I've told you the story just ever so slightly correctly. I'm getting a year slightly out of date. Do apologise. It was started at the back end of 16. In 2017 did all the work, and that's when it averaged between £700 and £1,000 roughly each month right throughout the year. So it lasted quite a while. Even as we got up to Christmas of last year, we're still doing £700, £800, £900 a month. So the money, you know, it kept coming in for a whole year. Now, to have £1,000 a month coming in for a whole year is a nice feeling. And then 2018 is when I neglected the site. That's this year. I apologise for the problem in the story. I've told you. So this is the year 2018 when I neglected the site. But so in April is absolutely fine. Still doing £700, £800, £900 a month. Even through into sort of July, it was absolutely fine. £800 a month. But by August 2018, now bear in mind, I had neglected the site for probably 5 months at this point. Only been in and done maybe 1 article, 2 articles at the very most, and tweaked a few. You need to be writing content all the time. It starts to go rapidly downhill at this point. There is another little thing that's also caused this to go down, and that is competition. There have been other competitors who have come in to the same niches that I am in with this website, and who have a higher levels of authority with their website, and that has pushed my site down. We'll get to all this as we go through the course. I'm sorry it's dragged on with this video, but I wanted to just go through this. So that's that. So I'm now going to talk about niche again and choosing a domain. You want a catchy domain name, but you want something that's possibly got the keywords in the title, but you don't want to be overkilling this. A more generic name is 1,000 times better in 2018 than what it was a year ago or 2 years ago. At one point you could do, kids toys under £100 reviews.com and do fantastic. But Google brought out an update for dealing with exact match domains, EMD update. So anything that's got the keyword exactly in the domain name is suddenly getting downgraded and pushed down the rankings. So you don't really need to do something like that now. You could have something like Sean's Reviews or Sean's Toy Reviews, for example. That's if you're reviewing toys. Now, choosing a niche, like I was talking about, picking something which you're interested in is always helpful. So, if your thing is pens, and you've got a fascination with pens, and using pens, fountain pens, ballpoint pens, how to clean fountain pens, how to write calligraphy with pens, what are the best ballpoint pens for drawing designs, etc, 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 then you could write a niche website about pens, just for example. If your thing is cat care, guinea pig care, my life around guinea pigs, if you are absolutely bowled over with your pet tortoise, these are fantastic little websites you could build, because you can go into tortoise care, tortoise cleaning, tortoise feeding, tortoise training, if that's even a topic. I don't know. In fact, you've just got me interested now. I'm just going to go to Google. Tortoise training. Interesting. People are searching for tortoise training. In fact, that's tortiose. So, actually, if we go for tortoise training, believe it or not, it actually has 20 searches a month. People searching for tortoise training. Now, this little thing here tells me the volume of that keyword. And I've got it based on UK at the minute because I'm targeting UK with my website. But you can set this to US, whatever you want. And it's called Keywords Everywhere. It's a little plugin for your browser. Yeah, we've got this related keywords here. Okay. So you can get into something that you're interested in. That's always a boon. As long as there's opportunities there for you to write stuff about. You get this keywords everywhere, right? What you don't want to be doing is tortoise, for example, tortoise food has got 1,600 searches per month. Alright? That could be quite competitive to get into, or maybe it's not. You don't know at this point, but I'm going to show you as we go through things how to get into all of this. The main thing at the moment is coming up with a niche that you're interested in and that there's room to get into. So, just ever so quickly without tools. So, in tortoise food, if you can see here now, we've got this featured snippet from PetSmart. If you can get a featured snippet, which is going to be part of a one-time offer, I'm going to give you tips on how to achieve a featured snippet placement. You need to be looking for what we call weak websites, and that are websites like other affiliate websites or forums, Reddit, Dig, things like that. Big, well-known brands that you've seen all over the internet, you've read them on, seen them on telly and things like that. You will struggle because their authority in the search engines is a lot higher than what you could probably ever get to. And you could be competing with them against one keyword for 15 years and never get there. What we're after is small wins. So we're after, you have your main domain name there, but then we write lots of articles where it's easy to rank for them. So we're looking for the competition for small articles, usually with longer keyword phrases, that you can write an article on and have it ranking sometimes within a day. Now, I've had articles which have literally ranked in 12 minutes on the first page of Google because there was no competition. But there's a lot of these little articles that you can write. I'm going to get into all this as we go in. But yeah, if you can see other niche websites and not many brands, main strong brands, then there's a chance you can write a few articles about this. So for example, we've got Tortoise Food, which is quite a strong competitive word. We've got PetSmart, we've got Pets at Home, they're a big strong brand. Tortoise Shop, that's specifically about tortoise and diets. We've got Exotic Diet, and that was written in 2016, that article, so potentially you could rank in there. This article is from 2009. Wow. Look at this website here, Reptile Centre. Is this guy. So it's Northampton Reptile. It's got 6,800 reviews. So this is a real business. He clearly runs it well as a business, been around for a long time. So the authority on this website is what's helping it to stay ranking well. Now, let's see how many keywords, how many words he's got in this article. So we're just going to highlight the article. Oh, wow. There's hardly any words in here. Wow. We copy that and we go to word counter and we paste in the article. Oh my goodness. It is ranking on page 1 with just 371 words. You could beat this page quite easily with a little bit more authority on your website, which will come as time progresses, but you could create an article that is better than this and longer than this, at least sort of 16 to 1800 words, ideally over 2000 words, and you will have an article that stands a good chance of ranking and beating this article here. It's only ranking because of the authority of the website. Tortoise Diet, the tortoisetable.org.uk. Let's have a look at this one. So again, I reckon this guy has possibly copied content from another website that we've just looked at, because that had water at the bottom as well. But if we just copy this one, this one has 921 words. Now let's go back and look at the top 3, because the top 3 is where you want to be. Right, PetSmart. Yeah, I've not forgotten what we're doing here. We're talking about picking a niche. I'm trying to give you the ideas. You can't just pick one like that. You have to research things first. So this PetSmart here, what do I feed my turtle? At least you know what it is. So let's copy it. Wow. Literally, again, I bet there's not even 200 words here. 276 words for the first article. Let us look at the second article. Pets at home. Tortoise food. See, we're talking about a product here, Tortoise food. Okay. And that literally just shows products. There is no article content in there. So, it's often easier to rank for questions. For example, what should I feed my tortoise? And even better would be, what should I feed my tortoise in winter? What should I feed my tortoise as a young tortoise? Do you know what I mean? Being quite specific, and you can rank better. So, what should I feed my tortoise? Oh, there you go. Look, someone's actually previously searched for what should I feed my tortoise in winter. Now, it says no searches a month. But, do you still go for it? Okay. Right, I'm going to let you into something here. Now, there's a technique by a guy called Doug Cunnington, and I will link to it. Doug Cunnington has developed a system, a calculation called the Keyword Golden Ratio, the KGR for short. And it's basically the all-in title divided by the search volume. And as long as it's less than 250 and the result is less than 0.25 or something like that. Let me see. Have we got the KGR? Bear with me a second. Download Keyword Golden Ratio spreadsheet. You can Google this if you want. Okay. Get my personal spreadsheet here. This is on Google's. Okay, you have to enter your name and email, but I think I've already done this. Right, here's the link to the KGR template. So, this is his Keyword Golden Ratio. And this has been responsible for helping me make money in the past year. So, it says here you need the KGR to be under 0.25. So, right, okay. Stick with the formula at first. So, you come up with a keyword. What do I need to brew beer? So, this keyword there is what do I need to brew beer? Okay. I can't copy that. I think I need to save a copy of it. But if we look, what do I need to brew beer? All in title. So if we go to Google. Now for an all in title search, we want to do colon. Then what do I need to brew beer? Close colon. So it's in speech marks. So this is the all in title search. Okay, 9 results. Alright. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put that into the US version, which is what he did. Google.com. What do I need to brew beer? Oh, it's still coming up with 9. We just change the thing at the end. And Google language equals US. Oh, it still comes up with 9. Fair enough. Fair enough. Where are we? I can't change this. But the all-in title number of search results would be 9. Well, I need to save a copy of this. Download. Right, make a copy. Copy of Keyword Golden Ratio. Okay, will it open? Can I edit this? Bear with me. Right. 9. Right. Search volume of 70. What do I need to brew beer? So now, what we need to do is take out the speech marks, and we want to see how many people are searching for this phrase each month without the speech marks. So we do the normal search, and it's saying that there's 30 searches per month. Okay, so the all-in title is done with quotes, and the search volume is done without quotes. So that's 9, and this would be 30, and then we come out of that, and the KGR is 0.3, which sadly is not good. Now what he's saying is you want it to be under 0.25 to stand a chance of ranking pretty quick. What I'm doing here is I'm showing you how to pick a niche. Let's say you're interested in the tortoise niche or the brewing beer niche. You need to think, can I write articles about brewing beer? Can I write articles about caring for my tortoise? How many articles can I write? Are there enough articles out there for me to write to make it worthwhile? I'm going to show you that in just a second. So this KGR here, that's come up with 0.3. We're going to look at this one here, how to use a racking cane. Okay, it's come up with here, this, actually, he's developed this now, you can just click on this. Oh, here we go. Oh, you should be able to click on this and just go straight to it, but it's not having it. Oh, here we go, yeah, you click on that. How to use a racking cane, I don't know what that is. Alright, how to brew in it. I want something that I can physically understand myself. How to build a kegerator from scratch. Not got a clue. If you brew beer, you'll know exactly what that is and you'll be laughing at me. So how to build a kegerator from scratch. So we click on that, Alright. All-in title is not done with just... I'm having a bad day. For all-in title searches, you type all-in title, colon, and then the key phrase. And as you can see, there are 2 results. So there's only 2 people targeting that. But how many people are searching for it? So we now get rid of the all-in title and the colon. And there are 10 people searching for it. So this is what happens when you don't build a course straight away. Right, this is a doable phrase. So there is a phrase you can write an article on, and how to build a kegerator from scratch. There's only 2 sites targeting that phrase. There are 10 searches a month, but that's not always true. There are often a lot more, and when you write your article, you can often rank for 10, 20, 30, 40 other phrases because they've naturally occurred within the body of your article. You can't get up here thinking, it's only 10 searches a month, I want 10,000 a month. You'd never rank for them. Okay? So you found an article there. What you want to obviously be doing is, you think, well, can I get 10, 20, 30, 40 articles, 100 articles? Just ever so quickly, in Google. So there's your main one, how to build a kegerator from scratch. You build an article on that. And down at the bottom, this Keywords Everywhere plugin that gives you this volume here. It also gives you the volumes here at the end of these. Now these here are searches related to how to build a kegerator from scratch. Okay, has that video just gone? Let me just check. I have no idea. So these searches here, apologies if my camera has gone and you're just listening to my voice, but here, how to build a kegerator from a fridge. Build a kegerator from a chest freezer. How to make a kegerator out of a full-size fridge. Because Google has suggested these, that people are searching for these are things that you should look at targeting to see if they fit within the keyword golden ratio. So, how to build a kegerator from a fridge. So if we go into here, how to build a kegerator from a fridge. So, oops, let's just get rid of this. Okay, how to build a kegerator from a fridge. So we know that there are 10 searches a month. Now if we just check the all-in title. Whoops, you don't want a space there. It's all-in title, colon, and then the key phrase. Okay, 48 results. This is going to be fairly competitive. But let us have a look. Dun 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 dun. 48 with it all in the title. 10 searches. See, that is a high KGR. So, even though you think, well, I'm going to do it anyway, fair enough, do it. Eventually, you will rank. And as your site becomes more authoritative, you will rank. So, you pick a niche. Now, I know I've gone into extra things here because I like to know if I'm going into a niche that I can write plenty of content for that site. If there's no phrases out there that people are searching for the niche, then what is the point? You'll be writing about nothing. So you need to know that there's plenty of people talking about it. So if you know there's a community of people, if you know there's a forum where people talk about beer brewing and kegerators and stuff like that, then you know for a fact you can make a site around it. It's just making sure you can target phrases, keywords, which have very little competition that you can write about. Now, before I started using the keyword golden ratio, this is just the caveat. My articles did not target very low competition phrases and never used the KGR. I actually wrote articles that were 4,000, 8,000 words long, and I literally just went for it and I put the content in. Now, they took a lot longer to rank, and we are talking 6 months. But when they ranked, you know, they were ranking well and making me good money. So it's a tale of two feathers, really. This KGR method gets you quick wins fast and gets you to the point where you have confidence in your website and that it is going to make money for you. You can target more competitive phrases as things go. So let's say you're interested in the tortoise niche. You could have a domain name such as mylovelytortoise.com. It's whatever you want, you know, or mytortoisehenry.com. That's quite cute. It mentions tortoise, and it gives it a name as well, which a lot of people will say, I want to know about Henry. Things like that. If you want to make a review site, you want a generic name, and you're going to have to spend time building up the name of the website as well as the articles, which we'll get into. Now, if you just physically can't think of anything whatsoever, go into Google and type Google My History. And what it does, it comes up with a list of all the things that you have searched for since you started using Google. Now, why would you do this? Well, you will see that you've gone into Google many times and you will have typed how to do XYZ. How do I fix a car windscreen? How do I paint around the edge of a picture? How do I clean pots without touching water? Or, do you know what I mean? You've done all these searches yourself, but you have then gone and found what the solution was, and you can write an article about it. You've got an unlimited amount of content here just through your own searches and the own content that you have been searching for all your life. If you were looking for the answer for something, then someone else will be as well. You just need to create a great article around it. So you get an idea for the sort of things you want to write. If it's a generic site that will cover lots of topics, then you want a generic sort of name, such as, I don't know, Frankie's World or AmazingReviewsThatWork.com, for example. And you go to a place that will let you buy a website name, and you buy a name. So I'm going to end this video here, and we're going to get into more on the next video. I know that my videos are not short. I know that they are, you may think they're long-winded. But the way I see it is that I'm trying to be thorough. I'm trying to be unlike anyone else that's produced a course who quickly goes through stuff and doesn't cover everything. Because I'm trying to imagine you being sat here next to me and we're having a conversation about it and you're asking me questions and I'm then going in and answering and covering those topics. So a normal conversation with someone doesn't happen in a 2-minute blip, stop, next one, 2-minute blip, stop, next question. It's a normal conversation. So yeah, we've gone into things here that you probably didn't think you were going to do, but by going into it, it helps you, hopefully, to pick an idea for what you want to write about and giving you ideas for picking a name. Now, I buy my website names from Namecheap.com. There are others out there. So when you do buy a domain name, you're going to have to buy some hosting as well. And then you're going to have to get the website name to point towards your particular piece of hosting space, so that when someone types your website name in, it then forwards them to your website hosting space with your website and content on it. That's what we're going to be getting into soon. So we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.